a seemingly endless expanse of blue. Yet for some of nature's most ancient mariners, these waters are not a barrier but a home, a highway, and a map. The sea turtle, a creature that has graced our planet for over 100 million years, undertakes some of the most remarkable journeys known to the animal kingdom. These gentle reptiles, encased in their protective shells, embark on epic pilgrimages that can span thousands of kilometers. They travel from the shores where they were born to distant feeding grounds, and then miraculously, they find their way back again, driven by an instinct as old as the tides themselves. It is a true wonder of the natural world. Imagine setting out on a journey across a continent without a map, a compass, or a guide. This is the challenge a sea turtle faces every time it leaves the safety of the coast. For these animals, the open ocean presents a world of currents, predators, and unpredictable change. Yet they navigate with a precision that continues to astonish us. A loggerhead turtle might travel from the beaches of Japan all the way to the coast of Mexico, a journey that covers the entire Pacific Ocean. The green sea turtle can migrate from the shores of Brazil to a tiny, isolated outpost in the middle of the Atlantic called Ascension Island. These are not random wanderings, they are purposeful, directed voyages of survival. How do they achieve such extraordinary feats of navigation? This question has captivated scientists for decades. It seems these creatures possess an internal guidance system, a suite of senses finely tuned to the subtle cues of the planet. They are not merely drifting, they are reading the ocean's invisible signs. From the moment a tiny hatchling scrambles across the sand towards the waves, its life becomes a masterclass in orientation and endurance. This innate ability to find its way across immense, featureless oceans is a testament to the power of evolution, a skill perfected over millions of years of life in the deep blue. This incredible journey begins with one of the most perilous moments in any animal's life. As a tiny hatchling, no bigger than the palm of your hand, the sea turtle must make a desperate dash from its sandy nest to the sea. Under the cover of darkness, hundreds of them emerge at once, a flood of new life heading for the water. They must evade crabs, birds, and other predators, all while finding their way to the relative safety of the waves. This first frantic journey is imprinted upon them, the beginning of a life defined by extraordinary travel and an unbreakable bond with the sea. One might wonder why a sea turtle must undertake such long and dangerous voyages. The answer lies in the fundamental needs of survival, food, and reproduction. The beaches where sea turtles are born are often perfect for nesting, sandy, warm, and safe from the crashing surf. However, these same areas may not offer the rich food sources that an adult turtle requires to thrive. The food they depend on, such as jellyfish, seaweed, or sponges, is often found in abundance hundreds or even thousands of kilometers away, in nutrient-rich currents or lush underwater pastures. This separation of nursery and dining room creates the necessity for migration. So the turtle's life is split between two very different worlds. There is the world of its birth, the specific stretch of sand it will one day return to as an adult to lay its own eggs. Then there is the world of its adult life, the open ocean feeding grounds where it will spend years, even decades, growing strong and healthy. To connect these two essential locations, the turtle must become a master navigator. It is a life strategy that has served them well for millennia, allowing them to exploit the best resources the ocean has to offer, even if those resources are spread across entire ocean basins. This remarkable life cycle ensures the continuation of their species. By returning to the same nesting beaches generation after generation, they maintain their ancient lineage. These beaches are chosen for specific qualities that give the eggs the best chance of hatching. The temperature of the sand, for instance, is crucial, as it can even determine the sex of the hatchlings. If the turtles were to lay their eggs wherever they happen to be feeding, the chances of their young surviving would be greatly diminished. The long journey home is not a choice. It is an absolute necessity, a sacred duty to the next generation. Therefore, the ocean becomes a map of memories and instincts for the turtle. The journey from the feeding grounds back to the nesting beach is the most critical of all. It is a pilgrimage undertaken by the females, who carry the future of their kind within them. They must cross vast, seemingly empty stretches of water to find a single, specific spot on the planet. This incredible feat ensures that their offspring will begin life in the same safe environment that they did, continuing a cycle of survival that is as beautiful as it is demanding, a true testament to the resilience of life. Scientists believe that sea turtles use a remarkable combination of natural cues to navigate their world. One of their most important tools is an internal magnetic compass. The Earth itself is like a giant magnet, with lines of magnetic force running between the North and South poles. These magnetic fields are not uniform. They have a distinct angle and intensity that changes depending on where you are on the globe. It appears that sea turtles can sense these subtle variations. They can detect the angle of the magnetic field, which tells them their latitude, how far north or south they are. It's like having a built-in GPS that works anywhere in the ocean. This magnetic sense is their guide for long-distance travel across the open ocean. But as they get closer to their destination, other senses take over. The smell of the sea, or what scientists call olfactory cues, becomes incredibly important. Each stretch of coastline has its own unique chemical signature, a cocktail of scents from the land, the local plants, and the nearby coral reefs that is carried into the water. A turtle returning to its natal beach may be following a faint scent trail that it remembers from its time as a hatchling. It is, in essence, smelling its way home across the final few hundred kilometers of its journey. Sunlight also plays a vital role, particularly for the young hatchlings. When they first emerge from their nests, their immediate goal is to find the ocean. They instinctively move towards the brightest, lowest horizon. On a natural, undeveloped beach, this is always the open sky over the sea, which reflects the light of the moon and stars. This simple rule, head for the light, guides them safely to the water. Once in the waves, they use another simple cue. They swim directly into the oncoming waves, a behavior that quickly carries them away from the dangerous shoreline and out into the deeper, safer waters of the open ocean. So, the sea turtle's navigational toolkit is wonderfully complex. It is not one single ability but a suite of them, used at different stages of their journey. They use the Earth's magnetic field for their long-haul oceanic crossings, like a pilot using instruments to cross the Atlantic. Then, as they approach their destination, they switch to using their sense of smell, much like a sailor using coastal landmarks to find a specific harbor. And it all begins with that first, simple instinct to follow the light and swim into the waves. It is a beautiful example of how nature equips animals with everything they need to survive. The first journey of a baby turtle is perhaps the most fascinating and perilous of all. Once they hatch and scramble to the sea, they embark on what is known as a swimming frenzy. For the next 24 to 48 hours, these tiny creatures swim continuously, without rest, heading out into the open ocean. This initial burst of energy is critical. It carries them away from the coast, where predators are most numerous, and into the relative safety of major ocean currents, like the Gulf Stream. It is a remarkable fact that during this frenzy, they are believed to be imprinting on the unique magnetic signature of their home region, locking it into their memory for their return journey many years later. This initial journey establishes the foundation for the rest of their lives. Once caught in the currents, they enter a period known as the lost years. For up to a decade, we know very little about where these young turtles go. They drift and feed in the open ocean, growing slowly until they are large enough to join the adults at the coastal feeding grounds. It is during these lost years that their navigational skills are honed, as they travel thousands of kilometers within the vast ocean gyres. Their survival depends entirely on the instincts and imprinted information they gathered in their first few days of life. Understanding these incredible journeys is more than just a scientific curiosity. It is absolutely vital for the conservation of these magnificent creatures. Sea turtles face numerous threats from human activities. Fishing nets, plastic pollution, and boat strikes can harm them in their feeding grounds and along their migration routes. Artificial lights from coastal developments can disorient hatchlings, causing them to wander inland instead of towards the sea. Climate change is also a threat, as rising sea levels can flood nesting beaches, and changing sand temperatures can disrupt the natural ratio of male and female hatchlings. By learning how and where sea turtles travel, we can better protect them. If we know their migration corridors, we can create marine protected areas or regulate fishing activities in those zones during peak migration times. If we understand how they use magnetic fields, we can appreciate the global scale of their existence and the need for international cooperation. Protecting their nesting beaches from light pollution and development is a direct application of our knowledge about their behavior. Ultimately, by unraveling the secrets of their navigation, we become better guardians of these ancient mariners, ensuring they can continue their epic ocean pilgrimages for generations to come.